Ooh. This is the bumper for my Celica, and this right here, this is Dibond. Now, if you want to make a splitter, I recommend Dibond. I've used it forever. It's got the important bits. It's strong, it looks good, it's easy to work with, and most importantly, it's fucking cheap. So this entire 8-foot by 4-foot board shipped to my house at my front door, about $200. You can't beat that. That's, for a material like this, that's awesome. Basically what it is, it's 2 pieces of aluminum sandwiched over a polyurethane core. So it doesn't really, it has a lot of flex to it, but if you try to bend angles, like 90-degree angles, without heating it, you'll break it. So you have to heat it a lot in order to get that. So it's not worth doing stuff like that, but for large flat panels, for like splitters and things like that, this is the shit. I have this on the NSX. This has been on the car for 4 years. No issues. You can get these little trim things on eBay or Amazon to just make it look pretty. But that's basically what we're going to be building. Something like this for the Celica, but not nearly as far. The bumper kind of comes out really far, so probably a little bit. Just a little bit. Basically what had happened was I was making another video on my wife's Hyundai Elantra, and about halfway through the video, got to the end and realized that the piston rings were gone. So I said, fuck that. No one's going to want to watch that shit anyways. But I'm adding a 1/4 inch gap here because when I cut it, it's going to be down, and I want to make like a filler panel for this vent. It's going to look good. But try to get everything spaced out. What you do is sometimes bumpers aren't square. Believe it or not, they're not. This one especially because it's handmade. I fucking made this whole thing. I know for a fact that that side sits a little bit proud of this side, about you know, 1/4 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from the back here to the front of the board, 21 3/4 one. Not quite 21 3/4. 21 3/4. So you see that's a whole inch back, but the front spacing is pretty close to what I want. So we're going to have to mess with it a bit. Probably going to go based off looks. Try moving this back 21 3/4. And because we touched this, let's go back to this side. A lot of back and forth, but you only get once to cut it. 21 3/4. That's looking decent. I'm liking this 1 inch gap here, which is about what I want. 1 inch perfect. Right in the center. Obviously going to go different, but we're going to take the center measurement. We're going to trace out the profile of this bumper, because I'm basically going to cut the splitter to match the profile of the bumper. Mostly. I don't know yet. I think the profile would look really good, but I'm wondering, because this bumper is like a low poly style, it's like a PS1 graphics, kind of how I made it. I don't know if I want the splitter to match that, or if I want the splitter to have a gradual curve, because I think that curve by itself will make it look a lot better, because the juxtaposition, the difference of the two. Yeah. How's that for fucking English, Mr. Reed? I know that from the outside of the bumper to the inside is where I want it for spacing under the car. So let me get a silver Sharpie, because this shit is black. One for me. Doesn't hit like it used to. It's about 15 degrees outside today. Just kidding. It is not. Mark 23. So that's for my own sanity. I know that I want the center of this out for 20. It's a little bit over of what I need, but over is better. From that mark, and then we'll do 23 from this one too. So 23 there, 23 here, 23. And now we're going to get a square so we can get straight lines sent down this. The fuck do you want? No. Okay. We're going to assume the panel's square, because why wouldn't it be? We're not building a house. So luckily this is measured for 23, so 23 1/4 would be our measurement. So we're accounting for that quarter line. Alright. That's good there. Should be able to get most of our measurement in this one. So do the edge of that. And we could probably make up the difference later. But that looks good. This is 4 foot, unfortunately, so I have to bump the bumper off to get the lines on the side. So I'll do that after. We're gonna get the profile of the bumper first before I start fucking with it, because I kind of got the layout how I want it. All right, so we got 1/4 inch there, 23 from this corner. Good, good. This looks like 1 inch. We're gonna keep it as 1 inch. I'm thinking, instead of following the whole profile, we'll keep it 1 inch all the way to here. Just keep this nice flat edge, and then start our turn. Either way, I'm going to write on this because this is protective film, just as to get a profile of our bumper so we can move the bumper later and make measurements off it before. Now, before I took this bumper off, I went ahead and aired the car down in stages and got it to the point where I trimmed the bumper how I wanted it. And now when the car, this is only if you air out your cars and you absolutely slam them nuts on the floor. I air it out, and then I take another piece of this panel, the 6 mil, and you lay it up flat, and then you get a oscillating saw, a little flush cut one, and you just run it around to get a nice square cut all the way around. That way when you air out, your panel is going to be, ready to go. So I'm going to have what are those called? Support bars. I call them strut bars. They're not strut bars. They're just bumper. They're like bumper standoffs, bumper struts. When you twist them, you adjust them, and they support it. Well, I'm gonna have those going deep into here, and then the underside of them, I'm gonna have a probably a beveled cut or something to put a conical flush mount bolt. Otherwise, they're gonna get ripped off. Found that out on that car. So we got the profile we want. Let's go ahead and move the bumper. Yeah. Get to sit here for now. And this is generally how it's going to look, but we'll see here in a minute. And if you're coming over here from my Instagram, you'll notice there's a big change in my mood. Mainly because I'm not trapped inside the shop, huffing inhalants all day and fucking with robots. But this is generally how I get shit done. It's just doing it and ignoring my DMs because I have so many fucking messages. Like, people just don't stop messaging me. But please keep sending me all those Roomba videos that I've seen 30 fucking times by ODS. When they stick a Glock on the top of one? Yeah, I've been watching ODS since before they had like fucking 1,000 followers. All right, so I know ODS. Stop tagging me in their videos. So we got the layout on there. I know that I want this to be proud 1/4. So that's a good measurement for that. This is not the cut line. The cut line will be spaced off of this. So we have this profile. If we take a straight line, that's going to get us close to our cut line for what I want to do, because we have the wide body on this car, so this part, the bumper, kicks out. I want to create a filler panel to go to that vent, just to clean up that area and add a little bit more bumper support. So if we do that, it's going to look like that. So that's a cut line, possibly. I don't know yet. I want to pull it out, more than likely, by about 1 inch. So we're going to do that to the other side. And this is just going to be a lot of rambling back and forth. But I'm just filming this because I don't know how to do YouTube content, because I just shit post all the time. So if people want like actual process of how I do things, it's about the closest thing I do. Hold. What's up, dude? What's up? What do you want? You want content? Are you content? I think you're content. Alright. Oh no. Are you gonna come up here? Come on. Come on, you know how to climb. Yeah. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right, whatever. This is not my cat, by the way. The neighbors 2 houses down moved out and they left him. But he does a really good job of keeping mice out of my shit. So I feed him. Gets to hang around. 1 inch. That's about what we're gonna do. The easy way to do that would be to use a mini square and create the profile and trace it around. We're gonna eyeball it because this car is mostly straight lines anyways. Yeah, because it's mostly straight lines anyways. Fuck it. Not gonna expand on that. Let's go to the first corner and expand it out by 1 inch. So we're gonna go here. And we want you to be 1 inch out. And that looks like the same corner. You go to you, expand you out 1 inch. Okay. And then this other bend, we'll do 1 inch on you. Which that other bend is profile. First bend. That's probably it, right? That first bend is right here for sure. So we do that. We could also measure the distance, about 8 inches. About 8 inches. So yeah, that's it. So we got kind of our profile set up. I know that this is 3/4 off, or 1 inch, 1/4 off there. I don't want that to be an inch profile out. Kind of want it to be even. So we're probably going to go from this point here, do a straight line down. Let's get my square, my straight edge. We're going to go from the corner of the material to the inside of that line. Corner of material to inside of that line. Just going to cut straight across. Okay. Now, that looks kind of funky. I don't have what I want. So what I'm probably going to do is expand this part out 1 inch, right on the corner where that meets. Go right there. And then we're going to go from that inch, halfway in that line, to there, about, and see how that looks. And I think that's what we're going to do, because that looks a lot better. That looks like it terminates out. It's not going to stick too far out. It's going to stick out about a little bit, enough to grab that side plate. If we go here to here with a straight line, we'll see how it looks. The straight line looks kind of funky. So if we take our time and kind of add a curve, a soft curve, just back and forth, I think that is what I'm going to do. I like the curvature of that, and I think I might continue that. So a lot of this is just going to be freehand, which is not terrible. It's pretty easy to do. So we'll freehand that. Nice curvature. This is going to be our cut line right here on the outside. So just so I know for my future, not that. That's going to be ignored. So we have cut line. And now for this, I'm thinking I'm going to continue this direction till it ends. So we have straight and begins our turn. And this will all stay straight because it looks good. We'll try you. We'll try you. Straight through, carry it going, and boom. All right, that does not look square at all. So we're gonna come back here and retry it. We're gonna find the center, which is basically right there. All right. So we know that is my center line of the bumper. And we're going to mark that right there for center line. And that center line is going to dictate where most of this curvature comes off of. So we have, I like this side, so we'll go for that side. 15 and a half out. 15.5. Ooh, it's really close. Just eyeballing it. So we're going to make it right here, and we're actually going to continue that curve a little more shallow. A little more shallow to there. Right there. And now, based off the center lines and where this goes, this should be centered. So we go to there. Center line out. 15.5. Center line out to 15.5. 15.5. Perfect. So that's centered, which is important. We need that. This bumper on the car sticks really far out already, and the ride height of the car is already pretty fucking low. So the whole point of this is to create a skid plate for this bumper, because I drove it around before I even cut the bumper, and you can see I got casualties everywhere I had to repair, and trying to mitigate that. I'm trying to get everything how it's supposed to be, ride height wise. And then we're going to test this. We're going to get this on there. We're going to put the strut, the adjusting rods, and those standoffs, those adjusting rods, what you do actually, you can pull them up and it'll flex the front of the bumper up, but you wouldn't notice it when you're driving. You wouldn't notice on the car when you air out, because that whole area is flexible, so it'll kind of just contour to it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm hopefully gonna have like a little bit of a duck bill on the front, but when you air out, everything will compress and it'll look good. That's the bet. But yeah, when you're dealing with custom shit like this, this is an if you don't know about this bumper, I got a model off a video game of a J Blood's AE86 front bumper. I scaled it up off the video game and cleaned it up so it kept the PS1 graphic style shit. I then ported that over to a model, 3D printed that in 49 pieces, glued all those pieces together, created a mold, which is that orange thing over there. Off of that, I used the 3D print as a plug, created a mold plug, popped that off, and then created this bumper. And then the bumper wasn't wide bodied. So from that point, I went ahead and I cut the bumper again. See right here, this has been cut, and then I just kicked it out to whatever the side profile of the tire was, and then body worked it back, fiberglassed it up. Bingo, nothing wrong. So then I built these top plates to cover in, grafted it all together, and I've been beating the shit out of it, trying to get everything right. It uses AE86 kooky front lights, which I've already fitted, and they work great and they look great. This car looked great with the bumper unmodified, just painted, rough painted. I still have to do a ton of body work to this thing, but it's also getting wrapped, so basically it's just going to be me smoothing it out and decking it, and then not worrying about it. Because, you know, if you know anything about cars you drive, the whole front bumpers are just going to get torn up, especially if they're lowered. So, aside from that, back to this. We're going to go what we did here, where I know that this is the inside corner of that. We're going to go out to a quarter of that. And then we're going to, what was the measure point we did? We measured off of this corner and then this corner. Okay, so there's two profiles. We measured off this corner to get 1 inch. And then we'll take this square and we'll go to the center of there. Center of that line, center of that line. Call our line. That'll give us that same profile. We can go back and double check at the corners. It's not a perfect bumper, but we can get really close. About 1/2 inch. About a full inch. So I measured from the wrong spot. This is why we measure. I measured from way too far out. That's what I did. I got to measure from inside here. So here to here. So I got to go 1 inch out from here. And this is why you plan everything out before you do it, and you triple check, especially if you're like me, because you're going to make mistakes constantly. But that's the cool part about mistakes, is that you can learn from them and then just fix them before they become a problem. So now we got that 1 inch there. Perfect, that 1 inch there. Let's do our curve. Little freehand curve. We'll continue that freehand curve. And the cool thing about these markers is that if you get the curve wrong, you could just fill it in until you get the profile right. All right, I think I am happy with this. That is a good size setup. I'm gonna run to the car up front, measure the back, because I still need to have material for my rear diffuser. I think that's gonna be enough, but I want to make sure. For those of you new to my channel on my page, I got a lot of cars. This is my 1984 Bronco, 7-inch or 6-inch lift, 37s, super cool. My first car I've ever owned, my 98 200 SX, all-wheel drive SR20 out of a GTIR Pulsar. Friends clapped out Camaro, that engine locked up, ignore that. This is the car we're working on. This is my 1982 Toyota Celica with a 1UZ swap. I have a 1UZ sitting in here. Full custom everything. So it's full custom wide body. The wheels are Ray's vintage Sarumo Sports, 2-piece wheels. All I did was I flipped the faces, so that's the inner barrel. Luckily that the valve stem was already drilled on the inside, so now the inside is the outside. 7-inch lip profile, crazy. The back has a cantilevered suspension, air suspension. Let's just get a close-up of that clearance. Ooh. And there it is. This is my cantilevered air suspension I engineered and built out of nothing. I 3D printed parts, made sure they worked with geometry, didn't really do any math. Found out I needed to do math, did a little math, a little trick to find out the 1-to-1 compression ratio and everything like that. 5.5 inches of stroke off these struts. These are AE86 coilovers that I converted to bags. Added a big old that's a big brass spacer puck just so I can get everything tight and all that. It's the air system, via compressors, all that. Manifold is inside there. This thing is awesome. It works great. It's way better than the factory suspension, and the reason why I did this is because this is a solid rear axle. If you know anything about air down cars, solid rear axles don't have camber, so you had to I built the panels around it to get as close as I can when this is aired out with the panhard bar adjusted and everything. Well, anyways, you can't get these cars slammed on the fucking ground without doing this. You can put little tiny baby wheels. I wanted 18s like a real man. So I'll do 18s, cut, custom, everything. When you air this car out, it sits on the ground. So that's why we're doing all these measurements. When you air out, stuff will break, and that's what happened. When I first aired out, I remember I had that front bumper on, and it crunched up into this taillight, cracked the bumper, did a bunch of stuff, so I had to redo it. Its headlights, the corner lights are all custom made. They're the GT84, 85 GTS with full, 168 LEDs each. I hand soldered all of them, did all that. These are my rain gutters, 16 gauge steel. I can slide off these, so whenever I get high centered, I just fucking gun it and it won't fuck up anything. Slides right across. This is what I came out here for initially. I need to measure the width of these two and hope it's under 4 foot. So we'll go to the inside. 55. Okay. 55 there. I want the panel to come out to about here. So 55. Oh, I might have enough. We'll say, we'll give us a little extra. We'll go out to the bumper profile. 55 by 2 foot. It's a little bit longer. It flares out. 52. No, it's not. It's actually sucked in. So it's like that. All right. 55 max profile. It'll actually leave us a nice little taper trail, and we can flare it up if we want. That'll be cool. We'll do that. All right, back to what I was doing. Oh yeah, a lot of this stuff on the car is just testing. That's PETG. It's all 3D printed. It works great. It's been in the sun for over a year now. No cracking. Yeah, just a lot of stuff. A lot of testing, seeing if stuff works or not. Got him. I need you guys to comment down below. Let me know if this is the kind of shit you want to see, aside from like my short posts, because I'm just now getting into long form content. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So I'm just gonna do what comes naturally, because that's the easiest thing to do. So back on this. 55, 2 foot. Oh, is it gonna work? You know what? It's pretty fucking damn close. So 55 from here will take me to about half, a little bit in. I don't need all that center bumper, okay? I'm gonna be real myself. I know this material breaks on seams. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give myself, I really only needed to attach to the center point in one area. So if I do that, oh, you could just fucking erase it. That's cool. What would leave me 8 inches out? So 8 inches from here, it's not enough. 2 foot. 2 foot will put me right about there. I honestly don't even need this because I know that this is where the main support's going to come from, and the oil pan for the engine's right there. So thinking about this, I might just go straight across because I have a support point here to the car, I have a support point here to the car, I have a support point here to the car, here to the car. I can make a support point in the center if I need it, but I don't think I need it because realistically what I can do is I can create a bar that goes from this support point to this support point, and I'll stiffen that if I really wanted to. I don't need to. This car's not going to be going 200 miles an hour. So we're going to go ahead and ignore that center section because I need the material for the rest of my car, because it's really not needed. This is all this is that's the undercarriage to the engine, which is a removable panel, but there's all the subframes and everything around here that's going to attach anyways. So I have plenty of support on the back, support points. It's not, we're going to attach it from here with a bar to the chassis of the car, here from the bar, chassis of the car, possibly even direct through bolt. I think there is a spot for that. If anything, I could put an angle bracket and create one. This is right by the pivots of the arms, so we'll see. But we're gonna go ahead and cut that. I'm happy with it. I like how it looks. We're gonna use a skill saw, just a regular wood saw to cut this main portion, and we're probably gonna use a jigsaw to get this. So let's go get that jigsaw. Only the finest tools. Ryobi. Obviously these tools negate everything I said in the video about anything, but you know, whatever. This is what I had for 20 fucking years, so it's what I'm gonna keep having. Just kidding. I got Hercules now. I'm a big boy. I've upgraded. Go find a home. I love cutting this stuff. It's so simple. Probably gonna do both the sides first, so it's not as floppy. Voila. I always save pieces just because you never know when you're gonna need like a weird profile or something cut, and that looks like a pretty good profile for something like the underside of a diffuser, possibly you take off. Either way, save your pieces. Obviously throw away like the ones that are no use, but a lot of people just throw shit away. Don't really need to throw shit away. That's what big throw shit away wants you to think. I'm gonna plunge cut this and just go straight across. I'll plunge cut it to where I could still use material. We'll line that up. We're gonna stop here to check where my stand is, because ask me how I know this thing can cut straight through it. I got about a foot and then I can move it. So we'll pick up where we were. And that's our splitter. Or at least I hope so. But we'll do a final fit in another video, just because it's an excuse for more content, but also I gotta pull the car inside, put on jacks, and I'm not gonna do all that right now. So we're gonna put this here, get most of this off, There is still a protective plastic film on this. I'll work without fucking anything up. Put the bumper on top. See how we did. Bumper go on. See how it looks. Okay. Ooh. Okay. That goes there. Good, good. See him? Oh, look at that, quarter measured. He's unbelievable. He's a god. Everything looks good. Yeah, I like it. Let's pull it out more. It's flexing in the center. Come this way. Pull this up. Alright. There. This will be close to it sitting on the ground. Alright, so it goes there. It goes there. Move it forward. Perfect. That is what I want. Do you square you up? You're gonna have, so right here, I'm gonna make a little support on the back and just pin it, just like a screw or something, just so it can hold this. This isn't really any strength at all, but it's gonna hold this from doing that, and that's gonna be all I want. Plus, we're gonna have this side bracket here that's gonna bolt into there, which will help it a lot more. But just little 90 degrees, one right over here too will help that. Yeah, it's gonna look good. Yeah, that's basically it. Now we're just gonna go and order the stuff online for the support struts. I'm gonna order 2 for the front, probably do right here and here, straight through. I'm gonna cut a hole in the bumper so it's not touching the bumper. They're gonna bolt to this. So when I tighten them, this is free to move around. Pull that up. They'll go straight through the bumper or here because there's a solid support, bumper support still in the car on the back. It's straight to the chassis frame. So we'll do that. We'll clean up some more stuff. Then we'll drive it around, make sure it works. If it works, we'll get a nice trim guard for this, like the NSX. Rubber it out. Build that side panel piece. I wonder, how does that look? Not terrible. That's kind of a profile that I want. More angular though. So it's gonna come from here, not from here. Although I like that. It's gonna come from here, leave a gap between there, come up the bumper profile, and then probably straight up just like that here. And it's gonna tuck into here. So it's actually gonna terminate right here. So we're gonna bolt it into the underside of this. And that'll make our vent a lot more aggressive. Nice little wind catch for nothing. I mean, it goes to my brakes. My brakes are, yeah, fuck it. For my brakes, brake cooling. Fucking calculated and planned. Alright, that's good. I don't know how to end these videos, so